Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Psychic Grandma. I don't, talking about my gray hair for a second here. With the black shirt, seems like the gray shows up more. What do you think? You don't have to leave it in a comment area. Anyways, the reason I'm doing this video today, I would like to discuss, do you ever think, hold on, I need a sip of water. My mouth is dry today. So, thank you. Do you ever think, did you ever, or do you think it's even possible to have glimpses of signs of a past life? I believe it is possible. And I believe it definitely happened to me. So I'm just wondering if anybody out there, any of my subscribers, if you ever had glimpses of a past life. And what I mean by that is like when you meet somebody for the first time and it just seems so familiar, normal, like you knew them all your life or something. It was so easy to talk with them. You just clicked right off the bat. I really believe that's a soul that you met in a past life. And let's say, that you're driving and you see a house and you just feel pulled to that house. Like maybe someday I'm going to live there, and then it ends up happening. Or you just have that pull to that certain house because maybe you did live there before in a past life. Or that could be even like a psychic ability that you knew your future. You saw a glimpse of the future, not just your past life. But going back to past lives, let's say you take a road trip. Did this ever happen to you? It has with me, so I'm just curious. And you go on a road trip, maybe across country or something, say, and then you get to an area like a city or a town, and it just feels so natural, and you really like it. You're almost feeling like this is home. It feels like home. And I'm going to tell you a little story about my mother, what she went through. She's not here anymore. She passed over. But I remember her talking about this when I was a young girl. I was probably about 9. But my father took her on a road trip to Florida, from Massachusetts to Florida. And when she got to the Florida line, and she ended up in, where was it? Petersburg, Florida, I think it's called. She told my father to pull over. So he pulled over and he goes, "What are you doing?" She says, "I just got to get out." And she sat on the side of the road on the grass. And she said she felt like she was home. And so I never forgot that. I didn't know where Florida was or anything back then. But anyways, but I did experience that. Probably not to the extent that she did, by her getting out of the car and I had to sit on the grass. But I did drive through certain places where, I thought it was familiar. But I know I'd never been there before, but it felt very familiar. I call that glimpse of maybe a past life. I won't mention names, but I have this one brother, and we were driving somewhere, and there was like you look down, you're on the road, and then you can look over the edge, and there's a river flowing down the river, right? And he was very young, very, very young. I would say probably about 4 or 5 years old, something like that. Yeah, probably around 4. And out of the blue, for some reason, he said, I died down there. And we're like, you know, I was probably like 13, 14 years old, maybe, something like that at the time. Yeah, and my mother was driving the car, and he said that. He said, I died down there. And we're like, whoa. We thought, okay, this kid really got an imagination, right? Because I wasn't thinking about psychic stuff or past lives or anything back then at that age. But it makes so much sense to me now, now that I opened up to the spiritual world. So I was just curious if you ever had that kind of experience, or even walking into somebody else's home and just felt like it was so familiar. You know, these are glimpses of our past lives. I really, really do believe that. So pay attention to any kind of glimpse that you get. You know, if you meet somebody or if you've been somewhere and it just feels very familiar and natural to you. Because I think it's a part of a past life, and I believe we have many past lives. So I was just curious if anybody had any of them experiences, or any other experience that I haven't mentioned about past lives. If you, hey, even like if you had a dream and it felt so real, I really do believe sometimes when we dream, we are having a dream about a past life. Maybe, you know, like use this for example. You dream and there's a person or people in your dream, but you know you never met them here, you know, in this lifetime, you know. But where does that come from? Where does that, you know, where do you picture that face, you know what I mean? Or their personality. You know, if you know for sure you never met them before here in this lifetime. You know, so I really do believe that we sometimes dream about our past lives because I feel like it's way back there. And it comes to the surface every now and then. So anyways, I was just curious. I find all that fascinating, and I'm just wondering if anybody had any experiences, like glimpses into your past lives. So leave it in the comment area if you want to. And I'll talk to you all real soon. And God bless. And please pass that white light forward. Stay healthy. Stay safe. I love you. Bye-bye.